Hey guys, what's going on? Thanks for joining me today. I'm Spiguyver, this is Spiguyver Backpacking, and today I'm out here to talk with you guys about a new stove system that I've been using a little bit here lately. So a company from the UK called Stormin Stove Systems reached out to me and asked if I wanted to try out one of their systems. I was really actually intrigued because a lot of people, well, several people had mentioned them to me, and they were a company that I hadn't heard of, so I started looking into them, and they make some pretty cool little stoves. So I've got 3 of their stoves here, and then I've got a cone system that they sent me that I want to show you guys today. I know that if you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you know that I have been using a cone system. I've done a few DIY cones myself, and really do like the efficiency that you gain using the cones. So why don't we take a look at what was sent to me and how it works. Let's go. Okay, so what I've got right here in front of me is my Toaks 700 Lite. So this is the lighter version of the 700. It's the one that's got the wider base and the more shallow depth to it. And so that spreads out the flame across the bottom pretty well and is a pretty efficient pot to use. So I like using this pot. It's nice and light. The other cones that I've used are a big single piece cone. What the problem has been is how do you store it? So what I've ended up doing is the size of the cone that I use for my 550, I've got 2 different ones. So I've got the one that is from Zelf that is like the half one, because I've got that one that has the ridge that's rolled into my Toaks 550 pot. And so the cone only goes about 1 inch up the outside, and so it doesn't use the full cone feature to really keep that heat in and use it effectively. I do have another cone that I made that is closer to like a caldera cone that goes all the way to the top ridge of my 550, but it's so tall it won't store inside of the 550, and so I've got to find a way to store it. And the way that I've come up with is to wrap it around my 8-ounce fuel bottle. But when you're talking about a bigger pot and a bigger cone, a 2-piece, which is what Stormin Stoves has come up with for this one, fits down inside horizontally. You can put the lid on, and now it's stored in there, and you don't have to worry about where to store it. So it comes in 2 pieces. Pretty easy to get in and out of here. Just kind of roll them up. So there's the top of it, and there's the bottom of it, and then this very lightweight storage sack for it. Go ahead and put that down. So these things go together pretty easily. Just slides together, and it's got these little rivets all over it. So this piece goes together same way. Just kind of find that line it up. So you've got the area where the seam is. So you line both of the seams up, and then all the way around you've got these rivets. See those rivets right there? So you've got a slot on the upper one, and so the slot and the rivets line up. Just kind of work your way around, line them up. You may have to go back through a couple times, because if you lift it up too much you end up losing it. Easier said than done, especially when trying to do it on camera. I keep losing it. There we go. Alright, so then it's all together. The pot sits right down in like that, and so it uses all of the surface area of the pot pretty well. Lid goes on, and you can see it is a nice fit. It's got one side where it's blocked a little bit more, so this would be the side that the wind would be hitting, and then it's open on the other side just like it would be anywhere else. But it's cut and it's custom made for the pot. So the way that works with this company, So Stormin Stove Systems, you can go onto their website and they do these. This one is 38 grams, but they'll make it specific for your pot. So you put in your pot dimensions, you have to know, you know, the height to the ridge, the width, all of that stuff, so that they can get it just right for your pot. So I like this. It's a bigger cone, but it packs down small enough that I can put it inside of my pot and carry it that way. Now the stoves that they sell, they call them stoves, but they're actually burners. They've got 3 different ones. They've got the Stormin Cone, which I've tested on my stove test series. Very nice performing stove. They've got the Stormin Stove, which is a lot like a Starlight or something from a Zelf. And then they've got the Screw UTD, which is a lot like a Kojin or the Starlight Gold. It's got a screw top with a little plastic membrane there that you can take out. So it goes in there, and so this is one of those that you can seal and keep whatever fuel is unspent in there. Cool thing about all 3 of these stoves is that all 3 of them can be blown out, and I have blown them out, so you can conserve fuel. Now they send them, at least the other 2, so the Stormin Stove has the mesh, the wire mesh, and a batting material inside. This one weighs 13 grams, and then it comes with this little carrying case that you can set it in, and after it's cooled, that way you can keep the fuel in there and it's not going to evaporate. Because of the batting material in there, this is another one that you can turn upside down and not worry about it spilling at all. You've got the Stormin Cone Stove, and the reason it's called the Stormin Cone Stove is the inside of it is actually cone shaped. So this one has batting material inside that soaks up the fuel that you pour in. It has burner jets on the outside, so it burns from both areas. This one weighs 9.3 grams. On both of them, the cases weigh 13 grams. So if you want to bring them alone, you're going to save a little bit of weight. And if you measure out your fuel properly and know what it takes to boil the amount of water that you're going to use, you can really efficiently carry it without having to carry the extra 13 ounces. But that 13-ounce carrying case does actually protect it as well. This one, the Screw UTD, has that batting material inside, and it is just one that you pour the fuel in and light it. In order to get the right height, one of the things you need to do is you pull out the piece from inside of the lid, set the lid down on the ground, and set this on top of it, and that gets the spacing right. So that brings it to about the same height as the other stoves, which keeps the height right for the spacing inside of this cone. Like I said, this one weighs 16 grams with the lid. All right, let's talk about performance. So these 2 are very, very similar. So the cone, let me take it out of here. The Stormin Cone and the UTD, both with 20 milliliters of fuel each. I don't remember which one. One of these 3 stoves, the recommended minimum is 20 milliliters. Now, like I said, you can blow it out if you bring your water to a boil prior to that and then save it. Both of these with 20 milliliters burned for a little over 8 minutes and brought the water to a boil, both of them at 5 minutes and 15 seconds. This one is a little bit of a cooler burner. This is the Stormin Stove. This one's a little bit of a cooler burner. It burned for about 12 minutes and it brought the water to a boil in about 8 minutes. So definitely a little bit slower, a little bit cooler, but if you're looking to do something other than just boil, if you're doing some simmering, if you're doing something where the food needs to be in the water and kind of churning for a little while, that one might be your best bet because it does go for about 12 minutes there. So those are the 3 different stoves that go with this system. And what's nice is no matter which one of these that you choose, you can put all of it into the pot together. So you can choose the cone system, one of these stoves, get it into the pot, and have it all sealed up. So let's go ahead and break this down, and I'll get it put back in there and show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, so even if I'm choosing to go with everything, I've got the cone back in the little case that I've got. You can see it easily goes inside of there, no problem whatsoever. If I wanted to take the UTD, that goes in there, no problem at all. If I want to use the Stormin stove, actually this is the Stormin cone, fits in there no problem. Actually, if I was not sure and I want to take both of those, I can pretty much get both of those in there and still get the top on pretty good. Because this is the same size as the Stormin stove, of course that'll fit in there no problem as well. So you can see this cone system, because of the way it breaks apart and becomes two pieces, and then you can put it in here real easy. It's one of those you just kind of roll it up, get it inside of there, slide the inner slot in, and now you can put it in here. If you have one of the smaller fuel bottles, like my, not my 5-ounce, but my 4-ounce one, I can actually slide it inside of here and stick it down in there with it. I also have a 3-ounce one that I can do the same, slide it in there and take that. And so if I'm just doing a quick weekend trip and I'm only going to be doing dinners or maybe a coffee in the morning and dinners, I can easily get this all in here, no problem whatsoever. I will say, of these stoves, this one is probably one that I will not be taking out on the trail, just because I do want it to perform quickly. So these two are both great options for me. If I'm taking a longer trip where I'm going to be conserving fuel, I'm going to do this one. And if I'm doing a shorter trip, I'm probably inclined to take this one because it's a little bit lighter and not take it with the case, but just put it in there, you know, just beside there and have it riding in there. And I don't think there's going to be a problem. I really, aluminum cans, even though they may move around a little bit, they don't seem to get damaged all that easily when they're riding inside of a pot. So I actually don't think I'm going to take this carry case with me. It's a cool idea, but I think I'd rather just measure out the fuel properly and use it that way. Anyway guys, this is from Stormin Stove Systems, company out of the UK, producing high quality stuff, cool stuff that is a little bit different than some of the other things out there on the market. I really do like the 2-piece cone, really packs down nice and light, 38 grams for this one, along with my light 700, fit all that stuff in there, no problem, and be out on the trail. Anyway guys, that's what I've got for you today. Hope you enjoy it. I will see you guys down the trail.